Hello, this is Chapter 1, Section 7, Distortions of Miracle Impulses. Your distorted perceptions produce a dense cover over miracle impulses, making it hard for them to reach your own awareness. The confusion of miracle impulses with physical impulses is a major perceptual distortion. Physical impulses are misdirected miracle impulses. I'm going to say that again because I think I could hear that a lot. a lot. Physical impulses are misdirected miracle impulses. That goes so deep. I'm just going to read it a third time so we can all absorb it. Physical impulses are misdirected miracle impulses. All real pleasure comes from doing God's will. This is because not doing it is a denial of self. Denial of self, capital S, our shared self, results in illusions, while correction of the error brings release from it. Do not deceive yourself into believing that you can relate in peace to God or to your brothers with anything external. Child of God, you are created to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. Do not forget this. The love of God, for a little while, must still be expressed through one body to another, because vision is still so dim. You can use your body best to help you enlarge your perception so you can achieve real vision, of which the physical eye is incapable. Learning to do this is the body's only true usefulness. Fantasy is a distorted form of vision. Fantasies of any kind are distortions because they always involve twisting perception into unreality. Actions that stem from distortions are literally the reactions of those who know not what they do. Fantasy is an attempt to control reality according to false needs. Twist reality in any way, and you are perceiving destructively. Fantasies are a means of making false associations and attempting to obtain pleasure from them. But although you can perceive false associations, you can never make them real except to yourself. You believe in what you make. If you offer miracles, you will be equally strong in your belief in them. The strength of your conviction will then sustain the belief of the miracle receiver. Fantasies become totally unnecessary as the wholly satisfying nature of reality becomes apparent to both giver and receiver. As I read that sentence, I was also receiving an interpretation, so I'll read the sentence again. Fantasies become totally unnecessary as the wholly satisfying nature of reality becomes apparent to both giver and receiver. So two things were kind of delivered to me as I read that. Fantasies. Any thought from ego. Any thought from ego becomes totally unnecessary as the wholly satisfying nature of reality becomes apparent to both giver and receiver. So as I allow miracles, this connection amongst perceived giver and perceived receivers, could be more than one. We're all one. There's only one of us. Reality becomes apparent to all of us together. That connection is being emphasized in the way in which the miracle works, which is not according to physical laws, is really being emphasized. Reality is lost through usurpation, which produces tyranny. As long as a single slave remains to walk the earth, your release is not complete. Complete restoration of the sonship is the only goal of the miracle-minded. This is a course in mind training. All learning involves attention and study at some level. Some of the later parts of the course rest too heavily on these earlier sections not to require their careful study. You will also need them for preparation. Without this, you may become much too fearful of what is to come to make constructive use of it. However, as you study these earlier sections, you will begin to see some of the implications that will be amplified later on. I'm going to back up actually. Becoming fearful of what is to come. How that's shown to me in this moment now is, as I face the foundations of my ego, it's murderous and vicious, and the way ego was invented by me, I'll say, is to try to keep my attention on it. So noticing the number and the amount of egoic thoughts and how they pop up constantly, and it can seem overwhelming. And as I discover the murderous and vicious nature of ego, it's not out there, it's always been in here. Anything I see out there, it's always been in here. So yes, we might become fearful as we discover this, but not if we have a good foundation. It calms us, it keeps us in peace, and we can face each one of these thoughts as they arise and let them go. A solid foundation is necessary because of the confusion between fear and awe, to which I have already referred, and which is often made. I have said that awe is inappropriate in connection with the sons of God, because you should not experience awe in the presence of your equals. However, it was also emphasized that awe is proper in the presence of your Creator. I have been careful to clarify my role in the atonement without either over or understating it. I am also trying to do the same with yours. And I'm going to talk about that awe versus our gratitude to what we perceive as our brothers, our fellow beings here. When the shared power of us all comes upon us, that power is amazing and immense, and it's shared. It's always shared equally amongst all of us. So there's where the awe is. But if I look at just one aspect and separate that out and maybe try to worship one aspect of what I'm looking at, that doesn't work. Gratitude works because I'm in there, in the equality, in the shared beauty and joy with everybody. And then as I allow the power of what we all are together, what we're all extended from, as I allow that to wash over me, there's where awe is appropriate. That's for people who might have a past where they're not accustomed to using the words God or Jesus or religious terminology, but you might be able to comprehend it better without saying God, at least for a moment. Okay, let's see. However, it was also emphasized that awe is proper in the presence of your Creator. I have been careful to clarify my role in the atonement without either over or understating it. I am also trying to do the same with yours. I have stressed that awe is not an appropriate reaction to me because of our inherent equality. Some of the later steps in this course, however, involve a more direct approach to God Himself. It would be unwise to start on these steps without careful preparation, or awe will be confused with fear, and the experience will be more traumatic than beatific. Healing is of God in the end. The means are being carefully explained to you. Revelation may occasionally reveal the end to you, but to reach it, the means are needed. And that's the end of chapter 1. Happy healing today.